So now I'm going to start variant 21 of 5070 of May-June 2025. It's paper 2 theory. The total time for this paper is 1 hour 45 minutes. You have to answer all the questions in this paper. You're not allowed to use a erasable pen, or do not write on any barcodes. You can use calculator. You should show all your working on this paper. Total mark for this paper is 80. Plot table is printed in the question paper. So let's start the paper. Here's question number 1. Choose from the following sorts to answer the questions. Here's a list of sorts given. Each sort can be used once, more than once, or not at all. This is a kind of typical question of CI 5070. State which salt A is prepared using a precipitation reaction. In precipitation reaction, we are making insoluble salt. For making insoluble salts, so you have to recall the solubility rules for this. For all these salts, that aluminum chloride, all chlorides are soluble except LMS, that is lead, mercury, silver. So aluminum chloride is not the choice. Barium sulfate, this looks correct to me. Barium sulfate, because all sulfates are soluble except besan ke laddu. Besan barium, K calcium, laddu lead. So barium sulfate must be the right answer for this one. If you want, you can check the other choices also. The right one must be barium sulfate. B. In aqueous solution reacts with an excess of aqueous ammonia to give a dark blue solution. This is typical of Cu2 plus ion salts. Cu plus 2 ion salt. So we must be having that's copper 2 sulfate there. So copper 2 sulfate straight away the right answer in this case. Next, reacts with warm aqueous sodium hydroxide and aluminum foil to give a gas that turns damp red litmus paper blue. So this is a test for the presence of nitrate ion. Nitrate ion. So you have to look for the salt that contains nitrate. So here it is. It must be silver nitrate. You can see silver nitrate is there, so you can write silver nitrate. Part D has an aqueous solution that is used to test for an oxidizing agent. Now if you are using for testing oxidizing agent, you must be using reducing agent. We have one reducing agent in our syllabus. I can see this. There are other reducing agents also, but the one we can see in this list is potassium manganate 7. So it must be potassium manganate 7 for this one. E has an aqueous solution that reacts with copper metal. So if copper metal is reacting, and that must be the salt of metal below copper. You recall the reactivity series, you see the metal that's below copper include we have silver, gold, and platinum. So we must be having salt from these. You can see we have silver here, so it must be silver nitrate. silver nitrate is in the list, you can write silver nitrate. As copper is more reactive, so it will react with copper metal. Moving to next question, which is question number 2. A concentrated aqueous solution of copper 2 bromide is electrolyzed using graphite electrodes. A. Graphite has a good electrical conductivity. Part 1. Explain why graphite has good electrical conductivity. Use ideas about structure and bonding. It's a 2 marks question. You have to refer to the structure. You know that in the structure of graphite, each carbon is bonded to 3 other carbon atoms. So this can be the 1 point, and you can express this in terms of the presence of outer shell electrons, because they are talking about electrical conductivity. So electrical conductivity in solid, it's due to the presence of mobile or free electrons. So you will write each carbon uses 3 outer shell electrons in forming, the type of the bond, it's covalent bond. So 1 point must be this: each carbon in the structure uses 3 outer shell or valence shell electrons, outer shell or valence shell electrons in forming covalent bond. Now you'll talk about the presence of mobile or delocalized electron for the second mark. Contains mobile or delocalized electrons, or you can even write electrons can move for this one.
Welcome to Chain of Qualified Tutors. Unlock your academic potential with expert tutoring, from secondary school to graduation level. Master math, science, English, and more with personalized one-on-one guidance. Call or WhatsApp for a free demo session. We offer on-site and online tuition.
Part B. Part 2. State one other property of graphite that makes it suitable for use as an electrode during electrolysis. As it is unreactive, so it does not react. That's why it can be used as electrode. So you can write unreactive or inert. Part B. Predict the products of the electrolysis of concentrated aqueous copper 2 bromide with graphite electrodes. So if you are having concentrated aqueous copper 2 bromide and you are having copper electrodes, the product at anode must be bromine or Br2. As they are saying, they are not asking you to write down the formula or name, so you can write Br2 or bromine. Both are correct. Or bromine. For the product at cathode, it's very easy. It must be copper, Cu or copper. Part C. Dilute sulfuric acid is electrolyzed using graphite electrodes to form oxygen and hydrogen. Construct the ionic half equation for the reaction at each electrode. So during the electrolysis, we know that these products are produced. Oxygen is produced at anode and hydrogen is produced at cathode. So for the anode, reaction at anode, we have hydroxide ion, that's OH negative ion. it loses electrons to form oxygen gas, which is O2, along with water, H2O, and loss of electron. So let's balance this equation. So we have two oxygen and one oxygen attached with hydrogen in water. So you can straight away place 4 here and place 2 before H2O. Now these two are balanced. What about the number of electrons? You see the minus charge, so 4 multiplied by minus 1 means 4 moles of electron will be produced. What about cathode? Cathode, there will be reduction, that is hydrogen ions gaining electrons. And we know that hydrogen exists in the diatomic state, hydrogen gas, H2. So let's balance this equation. This will be the final equation. Moving to next part, which is part D. Hydrogen and oxygen are used in a fuel cell to produce electricity. Part 1. Name the only chemical product formed in a fuel cell. You know that in a fuel cell, that the reaction between hydrogen and oxygen will get water as the only product. So you write water. Part 2. Describe one disadvantage of using hydrogen oxygen fuel cells in vehicles compared to gasoline or petrol engines. Now it's very difficult. We are using hydrogen as a fuel cell, as a fuel in this hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. So it's difficult to store hydrogen. We need to have high pressure. So you write difficult to store hydrogen. What else you can write? Availability of hydrogen, where we are getting hydrogen. We are getting hydrogen from non-renewable resources through cracking of long chain alkenes. That's non-renewable resources. So you'll write about the availability of hydrogen. Availability of hydrogen sources, because it's obtained from non-renewable resources. Moving to next question, which is question number 3. The equation for the reaction between methane and chlorine is shown in figure 3.1. A. State one condition for this reaction. This is a reaction between methane and chlorine, and we know that this takes place in the presence of diffused sunlight or ultraviolet light. So you write diffused sunlight or ultraviolet light. Part B, explain why this reaction is an example of substitution. If you look at this reaction, chlorine, it's replacing this hydrogen. So these kind of reaction are the reaction in which in an atom, a group of atoms, that is replaced by another atom group of atoms. An atom or group of atoms replaced by another atom or group of atoms. See, table 3.1 shows some bond energies. Show by calculation that the enthalpy change of the reaction between methane and chlorine delta H is minus 119 kg per mole. So you have to show by calculation. You know the formula? Energy involved in bond breaking minus energy involved in bond making. Coming back to the reaction, how many bonds are broken? We have these bonds are broken, CH and ClCl. So these are the bonds that's broken. So we have one CH and one ClCl. So CH, here CH 410 plus ClCl, here ClCl 242 minus energy involved in bond making. So we can see here the bonds that are made, that is CCl and HCl. So we have one CCl, that is 340 plus, and one HCl 431. Let's do this calculation. 410 plus 242, what you'll get? 652. 652 minus 340 plus 431, 771. So if you will subtract this 652 from minus 771, what you will get? You will get minus 119. So this will be the final answer. Part D. Complete the reaction pathway diagram in figure 3.2 for the reaction between methane and chlorine. Label the reactants, products, enthalpy change of the reaction, delta H, activation energy, EA. You see, enthalpy change of the reaction is in minus, so it must be exothermic. Exothermic reactions are those reactions in which products will be at lower energy state than the reactants. So we have two straight lines, one for the reactant and one for the product. This one, if this one is for the reactant, this one must be of the product. And remember, you have to show energy hum between these two. This is the energy hum. And what they are saying in the question, they are saying that you have to label the reactants. So what reactants you are having? You are having CH4 and Cl2. So you have to show like this. And on the product side, you're getting this HCCl, H3CCl or CH3Cl plus HCl. What else they are saying? Enthalpy change of the reaction. Enthalpy change is minus. Enthalpy change is between reactants and products. These are the reactants. And here we are having products. So it must be between these two. We'll have a line like this. It's going down as temperature is decreasing. Label it delta H minus. EA, activation energy, must be going up. This line EA. label it. So this will be the final pathway diagram. Part E. Draw a dot and cross diagram to show the electronic configuration of a molecule of methane. Show only outer shell electrons. Remember, to show the key, we have carbon and hydrogen here. For carbon, I'm using dot. You can use cross. It's up to you. For hydrogen, I'm using cross. You only have to show outer shell electrons. Remember, carbon, it's in group 4. Here's carbon. It's in group 4, which means it must be having 4 valence electrons. And here's hydrogen. It has only 1 electrons. Only 1 valence electron. So we have C with 4 valence electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4. And for each hydrogen, I'm going to show the valence electrons using cross. Let's draw a circle. So this will be the final dot and cross diagram. Moving to next question, which is number 4. Ethanol C2H5OH is a member of the homologous series of alcohols. A. Give the general formula of the homologous series of alcohols. This is something which you have to learn by heart. You can write CnH2n plus 2O or CnH2n plus 1OH. This will be the general formula for alcohols. B. Members of the homologous series have the same general formula and share similar chemical properties. State 2 other general characteristics of homologous series. So you can write any 2 from these. Any 2. So you can either write same functional group, show a trend in physical properties. Now, what does it mean? That there is either increase or decrease in melting point or boiling point as the chain increases. Each successive member differs by CH2 group of 14 units. Or CH2 group. You can even write can be prepared by a similar or same method. Or same method of preparation. Part C. The equation for the reaction between ethanol and sodium is shown. Here's the reaction equation. 2 moles of Na reacting with 2 moles of C2H5OH to produce 1 mole of H2 plus 2 moles of C2H5ONa. A sample of 1.35 gram of sodium is added to excess ethanol. It means here sodium must be the limiting reactant here. It's reacting completely. Part 1. Calculate the volume of hydrogen formed measured at room temperature and pressure. Give your answer to 2 significant figures. You know the limiting reactant. According to the reaction equation, we have 2 moles of sodium producing 1 mole of hydrogen. We have the relation given. I need to find the volume of hydrogen produced. So for this, I need moles of hydrogen. So in order to calculate the mole of hydrogen, we need to find the moles of Na. So where's Na in the periodic table? Here's Na in the periodic table. 23 will be the mass of sodium. So what I'm going to do, in order to find or calculate the moles of Na, I need to divide the mass, that is 1.35, by the nucleon number of mass of sodium, which is 23. What you will get? 0.0586. 0.0586 moles. So for the relation, so according to the reaction equation, that is between sodium and hydrogen, 2 moles producing 1 mole. Therefore, 0.0586 moles gives X moles of H2. So if you calculate this, what you will get? You will get X 0.029 moles of hydrogen. These are the moles of hydrogen. And you want to find the volume of hydrogen in dm cube. If you want to find it out in dm cube, you need to multiply it by 24. So for volume of H2, add RTP is equal to 0.029 multiplied by 24, and the final answer must be 0.696. If you want, you can round it off to 0.7 also. So both of these answers are correct. Part 2. Water is added to the reaction mixture to make an aqueous solution. Of litmus are the litmus changes color to blue. Such is the name of the ion present in aqueous solution responsible for the color change. Blue indicates that it must be alkaline, and it's due to the presence of hydroxide ion. So you write hydroxide here. D. State 2 uses of ethanol. You can write any two from, which is either fuel, solvent, alcoholic drink, and they are also used to make ethanoic acid. Used to make ethanoic acid. So you can write any two from this. Party. Describe the manufacture of ethanol from ethene. Now this method is an industrial one. Industrial method. Include the other reactant and conditions for the manufacture. So in this reaction, you have to react ethene with steam or water. So you write steam or water. This is the other reactant. Steam or water. And it's of 3 marks. So you can write the conditions. I need 2 conditions. Like you can write 300 degrees centigrade, or you can write acid catalyst. If you want, you can write the name of the catalyst. Acid catalyst, which is phosphoric acid or phosphoric acid. Or if you want, you can mention the pressure, which is 6000 kilopascal or 60 atm. So you can write any 2 conditions beside the name of the other reactant. Number 5. Vehicles use petrol as a fuel produce A. Petrol is a mixture of hydrocarbons which includes octane C8H18. Explain why octane is a hydrocarbon. So it contains hydrogen and carbon only. So you can write contains only carbon and hydrogen atoms. Part B. Two of the air pollutants produced are carbon monoxide and nitrogen monoxide. Explain how carbon monoxide CO is formed in a petrol engine. Include a symbol equation. You know that carbon monoxide is formed due to incomplete combustion. So you can write incomplete combustion. Now they have mentioned the fuel on top, which is octane here. So you have to write the name of, if you want, of fuel, that is incomplete combustion of octane. Now they are also asking you to include a symbol equation. So this will be the reaction between octane and oxygen. You know the formula of octane, C8H18 plus O2. Write down the reactants, products now. Carbon monoxide is CO plus steam will be the other product produced. Now you have to balance this equation. Let's balance this equation. So if I will write 8 before CO, let's write 8 here. Carbon balance, yes, carbon balance. What about hydrogen? You can place nitrogen N9 before H2O in order to balance hydrogen on both sides of the equation. What about oxygen? 8 plus 9, you know that it becomes 17. You can't balance O2 on the reactant side if you have 17 as a total number of oxygen atoms. So what we can do, we can use fraction for this. You can write 8 by 2. This will be the one way of balancing this equation. The other way to balance this equation, just write down the equation again. C18H18 plus O2. Write down the products, that is CO and H2O. Place 2 before C8H18. Now 8 multiplied by 2, 16. So I'll write 16 before CO. What about hydrogen? I have to place 18 before H2O. Both hydrogen and carbon is balanced. What about oxygen now? 18 plus 16. 8 plus 6, 14, 4, 34. So we need 34 atoms of oxygen. So you'll write 17 before O2. Now it's balanced. You can use either of these equations. Part 2. Explain how nitrogen monoxide NO is formed in a petrol engine. Include a symbol equation. It's produced at high temperature. High temperature, oxygen and nitrogen reacts. Oxygen and nitrogen reacts at high temperature. For high temperature, you can even write spark. There will be spark. Whenever you start the engine, there will be spark. So this is also high temperature. Now reaction equation, this will be the reaction between nitrogen gas and oxygen gas. Oxygen gas, the formula of oxygen gas is O2. Nitrogen gas, it's N2. The product they have already mentioned, which is NO. So you write 2 moles of NO here. So this will be the final reaction equation for this reaction. Let's move to next question. Part C. A catalytic removes most of the CO and NO formed in a petrol engine. This is the reaction equation. 2 moles of CO reacting with 2 moles of NO to produce 2 moles of CO2 plus 1 mole of N2. Explain why this reaction involves both oxidation and reduction. Now if you look at the question and reaction equation, you can straight away explain according to the marking key in terms of loss and gain of oxygen. explain in terms of loss and gain of oxygen. That's very easy. CO is gaining oxygen and NO losing oxygen. So CO is oxidized. CO gain oxygen to form CO2. That is oxidation. On the other hand, NO lost oxygen to form N2. That is reduction. Moving to next part, which is part 2. The reaction is catalyzed using platinum metal. Explain how catalyst increases the rate of reaction. It's a 1 mark. You know that it lowers activation energy, or EA. Lowers EA or activation energy. Part 3, state and explain the effect of increasing the temperature on the rate of this reaction. Now this is of 2 marks. So first of all, you will straight away write about what will happen to the rate of reaction. You know that at high temperature, increasing the temperature means there will be high temperature. Rate increases. Rate increases. This point is important. This point is important. You have to write it down, but you will not get any marks for this if you write only this point. Then you have to mention 2 more points. This will give you the full 2 marks for this question. You have to refer to the movement or energy of the particles. In first part, refer to the movement or energy of the particles. Like particles move faster. Like particles move faster or have more kinetic energy. So for kinetic energy, you can write Ke. So you can write this statement, and you can refer to the activation energy. Part 2, refer to the particles proportion, percentage or ratio. Refer to the proportion or percentage or ratio of particles having energy equal to or higher than activation energy. Higher than activation energy, which is EA. Like how you are going to write? Higher number of particles, higher proportion of particles, higher ratio of particles have energy equal to or higher than EA. You can write 2 of these statements, or you can write one of these and this one also. In terms of collisions, or refer to collisions. Refer to collisions. Like more successful collisions. Like more successful collisions or more effective collisions. In this way, you can gain full 2 marks. Part 4. State and explain the effect of decreasing the pressure on the rate of reaction. You know, if you decrease the pressure, what will happen to the rate? First of all, you have to write the statement for rate. Rate decreases. So you'll write rate decreases. This one must be important. You have to write rate decreases. But this will not help you in gaining the full 2 marks. You have to write 2 more statements for this one also. So for statement number 1, you can refer to the number of particles in a given volume. Refer to the number of particles in a given volume. Like particles are less crowded or less concentrated, or you are having fewer particles per unit molecules, per unit volume. Like fewer particles per unit volume, or particles are less crowded. Or particles are less concentrated. This will be the first statement. Second statement. So you'll write, refer to the collision between particles. Part 2. Refer to the collisions between particles. Like less frequent collision. Or less collisions per second. Or frequency of collisions is low. Or so you can write in this way in order to get full 2 marks. Question number 6. Chlorine Cl2 is in group 7 of the periodic table. A. The melting point of chlorine is minus 101 degrees centigrade and the boiling point is minus 35 degrees centigrade. Part 1. Explain why chlorine is a liquid at minus 50 degrees centigrade. Definitely this temperature is between melting point and boiling point. So simply you can mention minus 50 degree centigrade is between melting point and boiling point. Part 2. Describe the arrangement and motion of chlorine molecules at minus 50 degrees centigrade. For arrangement of chlorine at minus 50 degrees centigrade means you are referring to the arrangement and motion of particles, chlorine molecules, which is liquid at this temperature. So you are referring to the liquid state. We call the liquid state. So for the arrangement, what you're going to write? You simply write random arrangement with particles touching each other. Remember, they are not tightly packed. Random arrangement with particles touching each other. Then for the motion, what you're going to write is simply sliding over one another. Particles sliding over one another, or you can even write changing positions or changing positions or flow over one another. Part B. A sample of chlorine gas contains 1.204 into 10 raised to power 20 molecules. 1 mole of chlorine gas contains 6.02 into 10 raised to power 23 molecules. Calculate the mass of this sample of chlorine gas. So for this we need to calculate the moles. So in order to find the moles, number of moles, what you need to do? You simply multiply the particles by the number of particles in 1 mole. So the particles are given, that's 1.204 into 10 to the power 20. So you'll write 1.204 into 10 raised to power 20 and divided by the number of particles in 1 mole, which is 6.02 into 10 raised to power 23. So what we will get? We will get 1.204 divided by 6.02. 0.2 and in bracket we have 10, 20 minus 23, you will get then 0.2 multiplied by 10 minus 3. So it will become 0.0002 moles. These are the moles. Now I need to find the mass. You know that chlorine gas is Cl2. Cl2 is chlorine gas. So we need Mr. Mr of Cl2 is needed here. Mr will be, if you look at the chlorine, here is chlorine. Mass is 35.5. So 35.5 multiplied by 2, what we will get? We will get 71. So simply multiply 0.0002 by 71. What you will get? 0.0142 grams of chlorine. Part C. The ionic equation for the reaction of chlorine with cold dilute aqueous sodium hydroxide is shown. Here's the reaction. Cl2 plus 2 moles of OH minus gives 1 mole of ClO minus plus 1 mole of Cl minus plus H2O. 1. State the oxidation number of chlorine in Cl2 and in Cl minus. You can't see any number on the top of this Cl2, so it must be 0. The oxidation number must be 0 and the charge on Cl minus is minus 1, so you'll write minus 1. This will be the oxidation number. Number 2, during the reaction chlorine is reduced. Explain why using ideas about electrons. Chlorine is reduced. Here you can see the charge, it's gaining minus 1 charge. It must be having one extra electron. So simply what you write, gain electrons. So part D, chlorine reacts with cold water to form an equilibrium mixture containing the acids HCl aqueous and HOCl aqueous. The forward reaction releases thermal energy into the surrounding. If forward reaction releases thermal energy into the surrounding, so delta H must be minus for the forward reaction. 1. The temperature of the equilibrium mixture is increased. State and explain what happens to the acidity of the equilibrium mixture. So first of all, you should know in which direction the equilibrium will shift. If you increase the temperature, it will shift to the endothermic side. So if forward is exothermic, the backward must be endothermic. So equilibrium will shift to the backward side. Now, so it means on the backward side, that is on the reactant side, there aren't any acids there. So acidity will definitely decrease. So you write decreases. For explanation, what you'll do, refer whether the forward or backward reaction is exothermic or endothermic. Refer either forward reaction is exothermic or backward reaction is endothermic. Part 2. HCl is a strong acid and HOCl is a weak acid. Describe the difference between strong acid and weak acid. You have to explain in terms of the dissociation. Refer dissociation of hydrogen ions. Refer dissociation of hydrogen ions. So strong acids completely dissociate to produce hydrogen ions. Completely dissociate or ionizes. Weak acid partially or incompletely dissociate. To produce hydrogen ions. So these are the definitions of strong and weak acid. E. A chloride of iron contains 34.5% iron by mass. Calculate the empirical formula of this chloride. So it contains iron and chlorine. It's a chloride of iron, it means it contains iron and chlorine. Percentage of iron is given, which is 34.5. What about chlorine? Subtract 34.5 from 100. You will get the percentage of chlorine. So it must be 65.5. The first step, what I'm going to do, I'm going to divide the percentage by the mass number of each of these. For iron, it must be 56. For chlorine, it must be 35. So for iron, I'm going to write 56. For chlorine, I'm going to write 35.5. Remember, you have to divide it by the atomic mass number for each element. So for iron, what we will get? We will get 0.616. For chlorine, we will get 1.845. The next step, I'm going to divide the numbers or answer obtained by the least value, which is 0.616. So in the end, we will be getting this 2.99 for chlorine, 1 for iron, which means final formula will be FeCl3. Moving to next question, which is number 7. Aluminium is used in the manufacture of aircraft and food containers. Aluminium is resistant to corrosion by water and oxygen. A. We give one other reason why aluminium is used in the manufacture of aircraft. So you can write any one of these. You can either write low density, that's it's lighter, or strong. The reason is that if you say it has low density or lighter, it means it need less fuel. For strong, aircraft need to withstand against large force during flight. Part B. Explain why aluminium is resistant to corrosion by water and oxygen. Now, it forms a protective oxide layer which prevents its further reaction. So you write forms a layer of oxide on its surface. Forms a layer of oxide on its surface. It's of 2 marks, so 1 mark for this one. So next mark you will write layer is impermeable to water. Layer is impermeable to water. Part C. Aluminum metal reacts with hot dilute sulfuric acid to form hydrogen and aqueous aluminum sulfate as only products. Construct the symbol equation for this reaction. Include state symbols. Now they want us to construct the equation and you have to mention the state symbols also. For aluminum, it's a metal that exists in the solid state, so I will use S for aluminum. For acid, we'll use aqueous. Formula for sulfuric acid is H2SO4. So you'll write H2SO4 aqueous. For the product, you will be getting hydrogen gas. Hydrogen produced will be in the gas state. So I will use G for H2. What about the formula for aluminium sulfate? Aluminium and sulfate. If you look at the periodic table, aluminium belongs to group 3. Here's aluminium. So the valency is +3. What about sulfate ion? Sulfate ion carries -2 charge. Ignore their charges. These subscripts will be exchanged and we will be getting Al2SO4 whole thrice. And for this one you will write aqueous. Let's balance the equation. For aluminum I will write 2 before Al on the reactant side. For H2SO4 I'm going to write 3 before it and 3 also before H2. Now this reaction is balanced. Part D. Aluminum oxide reacts with sulfuric acid and the alkali aqueous sodium hydroxide. State the name of the type of oxide that reacts with both acids and alkalis. Now the oxide that reacts with both acids and alkalis are known as amphoteric. So we'll write amphoteric here. Moving to next question. Question number 8. Figure 8.1 shows the displayed formula of methyl but2-enoate. A. Methyl but2-enoate is an unsaturated ester. 1. Explain why methyl but2-enoate is unsaturated. It definitely contains carbon-carbon double bond. So we'll write presence of carbon-carbon double bond. Part 2. Describe a chemical test to show that methyl but2-enoate is an unsaturated. You know the chemical test that is used in your syllabus. It's aqueous bromine. And for the result, aqueous bromine is orange, so it will turn to colorless if double bond is present. So orange to colorless. Part B. Methyl but2-enoate is made by the reaction of an alcohol and a carboxylic acid in the presence of a catalyst. State the name of the type of catalyst used in this reaction. Recall this reaction is esterification. And esterification is the formation of ester. And during this reaction, acid is used as a catalyst. So you write acid or acidic. Acidic catalyst is used. Part 2, state the name of the alcohol used in this reaction. So if you look at this ester, so it must be the alkyl group. Must be the alkyl group. This is the alkyl group coming from the alcohol. So it must be methanol, it's one carbon. So you write methanol here. Methanol will be used. Draw the displayed formula of the carboxylic acid used in this reaction. So if you see, there are 4 carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there will be one double bond between the middle carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a double bond, and this one must be containing carboxyl group. So I will write COOH. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. For this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will be the final displayed formula for the carboxylic acid used in this reaction. Moving to next part. Methyl butadienoate is a monomer used to make an addition polymer. Draw the structure of this addition polymer. Include at least 2 repeat units. For your convenience, I am going to draw the compound here, that's methyl butadienoate. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one must be attached to methyl group. Now I'm saturating. There's double bond between these 2 carbon atoms. So if you look at this structure, so this double bond must be the joining part, becomes later on the joining part or linkage for the addition polymer. This double bond will be removed and will form a bond in the polymer. So what we will do, we will consider the CH2 as bond CH3. We are going to show this as CH3 for both of these. So this will helps us in drawing the displayed formula in an easy way, because the space is not enough here. Okay, now for 2 repeat units, they are saying 2 repeat units. I am starting the first one. So we are having CH bond, and then we are having CH3 attached to this, and this is attached. This is a double bond with the carbon atom. This carbon atom must be having the enoate part. So I will write COOCH3 and H, show H. Now show the another repeat unit. I'm using big line for this one. Now I'm repeating this unit. You have to draw this again simply. And you are having COOCH3 and H for this one. So this will be the final displayed formula for the addition polymer. Part 2. A sample of 80 gram of methyl butadienoate is reacted to make the addition polymer. There is a 100% yield. So state the mass of addition polymer made. Explain your answer. So mass of addition polymer must be 80. The reason is that because only polymer is made. You are having only one product. That's why you have 80 as a percentage per 80 gram as the mass of the polymer. The last part, which is part D. Figure 8.2 shows compound B. Explain why methyl butadienoate and compound B are a pair of structural isomers. You know the definition of structural isomers. They are having same molecular formula but different structures. Have same molecular formula but different structures. So what I'm going to do, let's see whether two of these have same molecular formula or not. But this is for sure that they have different structures. So we have formula for this one. How many carbons are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C5. How many hydrogen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What about oxygen? 2 oxygen. 1, 2. Okay, moving to the structure, methyl but2 unit. How many carbon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C5. Hydrogen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. H8. And oxygen, as you can see, is 2. So these two are isomers, and this will be the reason for this one. Thanks for watching. Press like and share my videos. For more videos, subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon.